Alright guys, I have another double feature from Columbia River Knife and Tool. The reason I'm doing another double feature is because these knives are very similar. On top here we have the Glidelock LTD version, which is kind of the upscaled version of the original Glidelock with the blue and black swirled gray handle. And then on the bottom here we have the Glidelock 2, okay, which is just another version a spin-off of the original with a different style. So let's take these knives out and check them out. There's the Glidelock LTD, and underneath we'll have the Glidelock 2. So right off the bat, you can see that both of these versions have the black and gray kind of swirled handle. And let me grab my Doule loop and get you nice and close to show you that. It's a synthetic material, kind of like Coralon, if you're familiar with that. And what's pretty cool is that when you do a material like this and you get the swirls in there, every single knife will be individual. There's never going to be two exactly like. So it becomes kind of cool in that sense. See there, mostly gray with the black swirl. Now, what makes these knives so cool is the way they open. And it was so cool that in 2008, at Blade Show, these won for the most innovative design for an import knife. First, let's show you. Well, they both work the same way, so I'll just show you. The top bolster here, you slide forward. Okay, you see there, it just slides right forward. Show that again. And then you pivot around. Okay, once this slides forward, inside the bolster, it grabs the blade. If you notice, there's no thumb studs or flippers or anything. So if you just handed this knife to someone at first, it'd probably take them a while to figure out how to open it. They'd try to get in there and pinch the blade. It's not going to work. What you do is you slide the bolster forward, okay, then you pivot it. Now as you pivot it, you can see here, the blade comes out. Let me show you this with two hands. As I push this way, it catches the blade and brings the blade out. And you do that all the way around. Once it's fully opened and upright, you slide the bolster back down to lock it in place. This way it's not gonna go anywhere. Okay, now it's locked. So very innovative, very cool. And here's the Glidelock 2. Works the exact same way. Bolster goes forward, and a lot of times what I'll do is one-handed, I'll use the side of my pointer finger to get that blade out. It just seems to work easier. And then the bolster comes back down to lock it open. So very, very cool knife. There it is. First, let's talk a little bit. Let me grab my ruler here. Talk a little bit about their size. They are smaller knives, very slim. The blades on both of these, I believe, are they're both the same. I know that the blades are 2.8 inches long, but let me get an overall measurement here, as well as the knife closed. Both these knives are pretty much dead on as far as length. Now, open, they're both about 6.5 inches long, and like I said, just under a 3-inch blade. And let's check them out closed here. They're 3 3/4 inches long in the closed position. Now, as you can see here in my hand, they're not very large knives, nor are they very bulky or wide. They're very slim. Kind of remind me of old stilettos. Just a real slim knife. These are actually categorized as gentlemen's knives, and I would agree with that. They're not really hard use knives in my opinion. They're for light, dainty cutting chores. They definitely have the cool factor. They're very innovative. As I've mentioned before, Columbia River Knife and Tool makes some of the coolest innovative designs, and they're constantly winning awards at Blade Show and all different knife shows around the country and the world for their innovation. So very cool. As far as price on these, they're both, well, actually the Glidelock, this is the LTD version, by the way. The original Glidelock, I believe, has red and white scales, and it's a little bit different. The blade is not coated. This version here, the LTD, actually has a titanium nitride coating, which gives it a black finish on there, and it is glossy, as you can see there. These knives do come sharp. They're AUS 4 stainless steel. I'm not a big fan of that. It doesn't hold an edge very well. Again, that's why I would say this is not a hard use knife. You don't want to go cutting a whole bunch of stuff. It will dull out pretty quickly. They're kind of novelty knives. I think they're extremely cool, and they're very, very fun to own. Obviously, showing people how they work is blows people's mind. It's very cool, and that's all that has to be said, really. But anyway, as far as price, the original Glidelock 1 LTD version, retails for $60, and then the Glidelock 2 retails for $50. Now, the Glidelock 2 and the first one, or I should just say both knives here, sell for around $30 to $40. Most of them are about $30 to $35. Again, it really is all going to depend on where you're purchasing them, but for about 30 bucks. Okay, and I honestly, I think they're really cool knives for $30. Again, this isn't going to be something you want to use every single day. It's more of a collectible item, but still very cool to own. Now, these have they both have stainless steel liners, and you can see the difference. Let me hold them side by side here with the design. The original had these 3 grooves in it, or not grooves, they're actually raised. If you can see there, they're raised above the bolster. That helps facilitate grip to go out and in when you have to move the bolster. Okay, there is grooves on the side here, again, once it's out, to help facilitate grip for moving the blade out. Okay, as you can see there. So that's what those are for. Now on this Glidelock 2, they went with a kind of cross pattern here, which is kind of cool, real classy, kind of Victorian looking. The first one here, if you look at the handle design, just against that white background, that is kind of a throwback to a lot of antique knives. So it has a very, very old gentleman's knife kind of look to it. It's very cool. And again, like I mentioned, the Corlon style scales here, I actually believe it's a CPL composite, which gives a look of kind of mother of pearl. I mean, this kind of looks like black lip mother of pearl. However, it's a lot cheaper to work with. It's more durable, certainly, than a natural material like that, and lighter. I don't have exact weights on these knives, unfortunately. I don't have the weight information in front of me right now. But I can tell you that they are definitely, just from feeling them, I would say they're definitely under 3 ounces. I'll probably annotate it into the video. Actually, you know what? Right now, at the bottom of the screen, I'll put the weights for these knives. Okay, as you can see there. And yeah, so they are very light knives. But you can see the difference in styles here. Again, they're going to be about the same price when you buy them. So let me open them up and show you. So this way you have a better idea what they look like compared to each other. In case you want to buy one, you can figure out which one you want more. First, let's look at the blades. Keep in mind the one on top is the Glidelock 1 LTD version. And that has that titanium nitride coating. And the one on the bottom is just the regular Glidelock 2. And of course, they both come in plain edge. They both have the same opening mechanism. And then here's the handles. So, you just pick whichever version you like more. Again, they're small knives. You might want to use this to cut a string off a suit, jacket, something like that. Small tasks. Again, not a huge fan of the AUS-4 steel, but in my opinion, these are more collectible or novelty knives rather than hard-use knives. But certainly they are affordable. So if you can, collect both. Still, I like the knives quite a bit. They are very, very fun to own. And again, showing people, just hand this to someone and tell them to open it, and they get kind of confused. And eventually this they pushing things, it pops open. They're like, whoa, what the heck happened there? And then they eventually figure it out, but I don't know, it's just a cool little novelty knife. So there they are. The original Glidelock LTD and the newer Glidelock 2 from Columbia River Knife and Tool. Thank you very much for watching, as always. I hope you guys pick these up and enjoy them like I do. And I want to thank you again for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.